I'm a 20-year-old day trader from South Africa, and I started trading exactly 3 years ago, and since then, I've blown 11 accounts. Every single quarter since I've started trading, I've blown at least one account. Until now. Today, I've passed at one account, and I'm on my way to pass another account, and I've also made profit live trading. The account that I've passed wasn't nearly as impressive as you'd think it might be. The profit target was small and the maximum loss was huge. But the entire process to get to this point is what makes me so proud of this account that I've passed, is because of the fact that not only do I have proof that I'm profitable, not from this account, but from real data, but I know that I can do it live because of this account. So I passed this account on the 21st, and as you can see, on the 23rd I took my first trade. I won it, and then I took another trade, lost it. Then I took a 3-trade losing streak, and this trade particularly was a bit bad. I think I miscalculated my lot sizes, and then I lost a bit more than I should have. But yeah, 2 wins, 3 losses so far on the live, which is not too bad. So the name of that account is the Ash Half Step account. And if you go down, so I got a 10k. The Ash Half Step has a profit target of 2%, which is extremely small. That's 2 winning trades. And the max overall loss is 3 times bigger than the profit target. So this account is basically designed to make you pass. It's extremely easy to pass. Now it still has some difficulties, like a consistency rule, where you have to make a 20% consistency, which is not too difficult for me. I just have to make about $600 or $700 on this account, which is about 6%. So it's not too bad. It's really not that difficult. It just comes down to risk management and ensuring that you're not over trading or over risking. Alright, and here is my other prop firm account. This one I'm still in the challenge phase. So I started it in June. First month I lost $30 on it. Second month I made $65, and now in August I haven't taken a trade yet, because as of recording it's the 3rd of August, so it's still pretty early. I think this account has a 10% profit target. Yeah, 10% profit target with a 10% max drawdown. So it's pretty balanced. And as you can see, I'm about $35 in profit. Not too much. Still have a long way to go with this account. But the thing is, for the last about 3 months, I've been trading the best that I've ever traded. And hands down, I have to give the credit to backtesting. 5 months ago, my risk management was excellent. Everything was great. My emotional control, I don't get mad when I lose. I don't get impulsive entries. I don't get scared to enter. I just enter my trades and let them run. But the thing that held me back, and I didn't know this, was the fact that my strategy was actually unprofitable. Not because it's just a bad strategy, but because of how I developed it. My exits were extremely bad. I had extremely bad exits, and for that reason my win rate was too low and my risk to reward was too low. Everything was too low for me to be profitable. And well, I had to make a change because I took over 300 trades. For 2 years I traded that strategy. 300 total trades, and I didn't make a profit in the end. So I knew something was wrong. So what I did was I went over to FX Replay, started backtesting, and I figured out exactly what was my problem. At first I thought it was emotional control, but then I was unprofitable in backtesting as well. And you can't really get emotional when there's nothing on the line. So I went and I reviewed everything over and over and over, and I kept seeing the same thing. It's not emotion, it's my exits. My entries are perfect, and my trade management is perfect, my risk management is perfect. It's my exits. That's where I need to make a change. Okay, so this is how I used to trade. This is my stats that I backtested with my strategy. I can't remember exactly how much did I backtest. All right, so I backlisted about 150 trades. Not too much, but 150 trades is more than enough to get an idea of how a strategy performs. So as you can see, my risk to reward wasn't really fixed. It's like you can see a 1.62, a 1 to 1, 1 to 1.3, 1 to 1, 1 to 6. So yeah, very fluctuating. Now let me show you the reason why. So here's the first trade I took. As you can see, I take my first position. Now my first position is a 1 to 1 risk to reward. Then I get a retracement. I look for a retracement of at least 6 candles in the opposite direction, but it must be 6 decent sized candles. Then I wait for price to break below this low and I enter my position, my second position, move both my stop losses to the high of this move, and then I target the same level. Yeah, sometimes I don't get the retracement like this trade, and then I just yeah, and then I just take the 1 to 1. Yeah, and here's an example of multiple trades. Here you can see the first trade, we get a retracement. I enter my second trade, retracement, third trade, retracement, fourth trade. And this one actually won. It was a pretty big trade, almost 4 risk reward, which is not too bad. But yeah, the problem was that even though my risk reward was high, my win rate was just too low. I was just losing too much, way too much. Let me just scroll down and you'll see. At the start it was pretty good, but you'll see losses after losses after losses. It's just too many losses. Here they come. As you can see, massive losing streaks, and these losing streak costs me everything. You just can't be profitable. When your losing streaks are so consistent, you just can't be profitable. So before I show you the 1 to 1, here it is. This is the continuation only, as you can see labeled up here. So my results with this was much better, but I still had losing streaks. And I guess it's pretty obvious that I will, because as I add more and more positions to every single trade, the risk to reward increases. And as my average risk to reward increases, then essentially my win rate decreases and the losing streak starts piling up and piling up. Now, being profitable with losing streaks is very much possible. You can be profitable with losing streaks, but it's just extremely difficult. And with prop firms, you'll just blow up way too much to actually even make money in the long run. You want something that has a fairly decent win rate. I would say at least 45%, so that you don't blow up too much and you're slightly more consistent in passing so that you can actually make your money back. Alright, so the next change that I made was changing to a 1 to 1 only. So as I told you, my first position that I took was a 1 to 1. Now, my goal was to see if I only took those trades, would I have a 50% win rate or more? So with the 1 to 1, it wasn't too bad. As you can see, my first year backtesting this, it was like a small loss. Having a losing year is not, it's not that great. And it's very, very harmful for your long-term profitability. Obviously, over 10 years, it's not going to matter too much, but 3 to 5 years, it does make a huge difference. But yeah, as you can see, I did have quite a few losing months in this year, and as a result, I did have a losing year. So I went back and I studied every single individual trade, and I realized that if I, instead of doing a 1 to 1, I do a 1 to 1.15, which is just slightly more risk to reward, that would put me at a level where I will be profitable. Because if you look at my winning trades, look at this winning trade, for example. You see how after it hit take profit, it pushed slightly past. Now this one actually lost, but it went up, and as you can see, it went past my take profit. This one, it went past my take profit. This one, it went past my take profit. This one also a little bit. So almost every single trade goes further than my take profit, and not just by a small margin, by a fairly big margin. So first I started 1 to 1.2 and I saw it was still unprofitable in this year. Then I started the 1 to 1.15 and I realized that it was the way to go if I wanted to be profitable. So I set up a new project and I started backtesting again. All right, so the 1 to 1.15, as you can see, it's not too bad. It had 2 winning years straight, made about 40R, losing year, winning year, and then 2 losing years. So before I address the 2 or 3 losing years, let's first look at the 2 winning years. So in those 2 years, if I had bought an account, let's say with FTMO, a 100k account, I could have passed 4 accounts in those 2 years and I wouldn't have blown up once, which is extremely good. That's a massive improvement, and I haven't had any results like that ever. And the only reason why I was able to get to this point where I would actually be able to call myself profitable is because of the fact that I was backtesting. I backtested my first strategy, or this is all the same strategy actually. It's just, variations, it's small changes. So I backtested my strategy at the start and I realized that I needed to remove reversals. So I removed reversals. Slight improvement. I backtest again and I realized that I need to change my exits. So I go to a 1-to-1. I backtest to 1-to-1 and I realized that I need to increase my profit target by a small margin. So I do that. And that led me to this point. Now this entire project of backtesting has taken me about a year and you could say 2 months. So for the last 14 months, I've been backtesting non-stop. And I've gotten to this point where I am profitable. I mean, this is over 6 years worth of data, and you can see I have a profit. Not a big profit, but I do have a profit. So you can call me profitable. You definitely can. And if I would have traded these 6 years on prop firms, I would have made hundreds of thousands of dollars. So you can call me profitable. But there is still a problem. 2020 and 2021, after backtesting them, as you can see, I lost about 31R. That's not ideal at all. And since 2018 until the end of 2022, you can see I lost 24R. So that means for about 4 years, you could say if I were to trade those 4 years on live, I would have been in red. And that's not ideal. That's not what you want as a profitable trader. You want to be able to at least make money. If you start trading right now, in 2 years' time, you should be able to have made a profit. And 2 years after that again, and 2 years after that. If you're not making a profit after 4 years, that's a big problem. Now, I did make a profit over 6 years, and it does mean that I am profitable. But what if I started backtesting in 2018? Then I wouldn't be profitable, right? So it's a matter of sample sizes, and I still have a bit to backtest. I'm still busy backtesting 2022, 23, 24, 25, and 2026. So once I've backtested these few years, then I would have like even more data and I would be able to see exactly how profitable I am. So of course these 2 years, I mean the first 2 years were pretty good. 2 really nice winning years, and then a losing year, and then another nice winning year, and then obviously the 2 losing years. So it's not too ideal, but at least over the 6 years I did make a profit, and that's the goal. The goal is to be profitable over the long term, and that's exactly what I have achieved. Now, I am proud of this. I'm very proud of this. The fact that I am able to call myself profitable and actually have real proof of being profitable is great. But I still do think there is room for improvement. So I had to go study. I'm not even done with this project yet, and I needed to go study and find a way to increase my profit over these 6 years, so that in the future I can keep studying this same thing and see if it's a consistent change that I should make, and then I can implement it in my live trading and then actually have an even better edge when I'm trading live. So what I noticed is when you look at these losing years, look at June -10, November 2020 -7.7, Here's 5.7, 5.4, and in this losing year, 5.85 and 7.85. So in my losing years, I had extremely big losing months. So I started looking at something to, limit those losses. So my total profit, just normally trading the 1 to 1.15, was 15.85 over 6 years. Now, capping my losing months to 5R, so I'm not allowed to lose more than that, would put me at 25.75R over the 6 years. So that's already almost 10R. That's 10R more over the 6 years, which is not too much, but it's an improvement. And that's what we want, is improvement. So then I decided to take it a bit further and cap out my losing months at 4R. And as you can see, 30.55R. That's double. Double. So I could have made double if I just kept my losing months to 4R. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to keep backtesting 2022, 23, 24, 25, and 26. And I'm going to backtest them normally. And then I'm just going to study what would happen if I cap my losing months at 5R and 4R. I'm going to look at all the results and I'm going to make a decision on what I should do next to ensure that I'm improving. Calling myself profitable is obvious. I can call myself profitable, but I'm not going to make a lot of money with this. Making 15R over 6 years is not, it's basically nothing. Even 30R over 6 years, it's not a lot. I mean, that's 5R per year. That means I won't even pass an account every single year. It will take me 2 years to pass an account, which is it's not ideal. So if you haven't passed an account yet, or you are not profitable yet, or haven't gotten payout yet, whatever you're stuck with, this is the way you need to do it. You need to go backtest. After backtesting, go study every single individual trader. Do exactly what I'm doing. Save, screenshot every single trade. Look at this, right? Look at this. 721 trades. Every single trade I have a screenshot of. All my data is saved here. Every single month, every single quarter, and every single year. Then I can study every single trade because I have a screenshot of every single trade. And I can study all my months, all my quarters, I can study my years, I can study anything that I need to study. This is the way you need to go if you want to become profitable. You're not going to become profitable if you just trade blindly. You wake up on a Monday, you start trading, you're like, I lost, and then you go, I don't know, go do whatever. You can't do that. You cannot be profitable by doing that. You have to backtest, because backtesting allows you to basically see from a third person's perspective. You're basically getting a view into the future when you're backtesting. If you want to become the best trader you can be, if you want to become a millionaire, if you want to do whatever it takes, then you have to start backtesting. You have to start saving your data every single day. And it's not going to take you a long time. 6 to 12 months of backtesting every single day, making small improvements as you go. Then 6 months from now, you will already have a profitable strategy. 12 months from now, you will have such a good strategy that you will be able to beat the S&P 500 and make millions in the next coming years. But only if you put in the work. So don't just go backtest right now for 30 minutes and then get bored and go scroll on Instagram. Go backtest for 2 hours. Do it again tomorrow. Do it again the day after that. And do it every single day for the next 12 months. And by the end of that, I promise you, you would probably have gotten a payout already. In 2 years, you would be a 6-figure trader. In 5 years, you would be an 8-figure trader. All thanks to backtesting. Because at the end of the day, trading is just a numbers game. And if you play the numbers correctly, then you will win.